Sorry. Take one.
Yeah, take one.
Hey guys.
Yeah, okay, hello.
Well, if you couldn't tell, this is our first time doing this, so hopefully we get better every podcast.
I guess we should introduce ourselves. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, welcome to the first of many LiLi's Hotlines podcast. Round of applause.
I'm Liz. I guess the first little
Half.
Yeah, the better half. No.
Oh.
She already on the first episode. No, but I'm Liz, and yeah.
Well, that's Liz. Yeah, the first half of Lil. And I'm Linda, the other half of Lee. So, together we are Lily.
All right.
Anyway, I feel like in the spirit of college, we should say icebreakers so the listeners get to know us. So I have a list. You should say a couple and I'll say a couple. Whatever you don't say, I'll say.
Okay, just know that I am a strongly believer that icebreakers aren't that on the first day of class. You're just making everybody feel uncomfortable. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't mean to say. So Linda, from the future, bleep that out.
Okay.
What's the grossest food you ever had to eat to be polite? Can I answer this myself? Because none. Just do the little plate thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Stop.
Where you go to the trash
Stop.
and you have your plate, flip it over. 10 out of 10 recommend if the food is disgusting.
Liz, but sometimes you have to be like, okay, if the person that made it is sitting there in front of you, sometimes you have to like stomach it, at least like a bite.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, okay, I can't.
To not do that, just cut up the food smaller and smaller and smaller. Just to make it seem like just pick out the food. You know how your parents told you when you were little, don't pick out the food? Pick out the food.
Okay. But okay, I have to answer the question for the sake of the question.
Yeah,
okay.
answer the question.
So, I feel like if I answer this question, the person could possibly listen to it and know that I'm talking about them. Or not them or someone related to them. So I'm going to just say part of the food.
Okay.
It involved warm Vienna sausages.
Okay.
That's that.
Can we get a timeline of when this was? Like,
It was...
what season we were in?
It was over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I was at my lovely friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for a minute. Like, we were hanging out that day, and I was over to her house. I've been to her house multiple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she started to get hungry. So when her family members started to cook, like, something real quick thrown together. And she offered it to me, and to be polite, I was like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so she hands it to me, and involves warm Vienna sausages.
Okay. So don't do that.
So I judged. Okay, let me tell you what I did. I judged off my friend if she was gonna eat it to determine if I ate it. So she didn't finish hers, so I didn't finish mine. So I didn't feel bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, moving on. What's your best idea for a reality show?
I feel like we would be good.
We?
Yes.
Honestly, I'm
Yes.
thinking about it.
We should do
TMZ? Not TMZ. What? ETV, hit us up.
like a vlog style reality
Yeah.
TV show where we film, or like we have people film our own lives for us. That's good, bro. That's good.
That is pretty good.
That's good.
Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
I can break this question down for you.
Mm-hmm.
The first white man I ever had a crush on was Troy Bolton
Okay.
from High School Musical.
I feel like that was everybody's.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was just, when he was like, in Get Your Head in the Game,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
That was
hit. I was like, wow. Wow. My first, like, female celebrity crush growing up had to have been either, like, a Cheetah Girl or Zendaya.
Mm-hmm. Very solid answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, like, outside of Disney, it was either Omarion or Omarion. Yeah. Like,
Wow.
all Omarion. Yeah.
Okay. Last thing, which I feel like I know the answer to, is what part of elementary school do you wish to incorporate into your adult life?
Recess.
Recess.
Yes.
I really thought you were gonna go with nap time because you take a lot of naps.
I do take a lot of naps, but I think in elementary school I didn't take as many naps as I take now. I say recess just because, like, I really do want to take a break in the middle of the day, Liz.
Yeah.
I really just want to say, I'm done. Let's go outside and run around. But yeah. Okay, I feel like you definitely told me the story before, but I think you should tell the people.
What story?
As a kid or as a teenager, I'll say as a teenager, what did you ever do something wrong and pin it on your siblings?
100%. It was a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. Where do I even start? Because I feel like I have a lot of stories where I did something and I pinned it on my siblings.
I feel like, I don't know if you pinned it on your sibling in this story, but you definitely pinned it on someone. The broken window.
Oh, yes. So, in the house that I lived in, back when I was, like, around 10, me and my sister shared a room, and I had the bed. My bed was closest to the window. And my cousins came over that day, and we were just messing around, jumping around, and I forgot what happened, but we were all chilling in my bed in my room, and somebody tickled me, and I kicked the window, and I didn't tell my mom. But then, I don't know, that same day, my mom found out, and I blamed it on my cousin. So, I'm not going to say what cousin. They can figure it out for themselves. But then, I didn't feel bad, but then I started to feel bad because he got in trouble. But, actually, yeah, I just said that I think I told my mom that he threw a ball, which was a big no-no in my house. Like, don't play around like that in the house. And it hit the window. So, his mom yelled at him, they left, and yeah. So, sorry to my cousin.
Okay. What's the best pickup line that would work on you?
Probably like a bilingual pickup line.
Go ahead, say it and translate it for us.
Okay, hold on. Because, like, it's not even, like, I don't think it's bilingual. I think it's just, like, it's, like, I don't think it's even a pickup line, actually, but it's the first thing that came into my head. But if somebody was like, I'm single, you're single, let's mingle from Monday to Domingo, so Monday to Sunday, I would have been like, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty bad pickup line, actually. But that's on my mind right now, so that's why I said that one. But honestly, any cheesy pickup line, it just don't, like, catcall me. And yeah. You got my attention already.
Do you have any crazy roommate stories? I know the answer to this question.
Yes, but you see, hopefully we're going to talk about this in this podcast, but as you grow up, you change, and you maybe come to see that you maybe you get to the point where you see, I guess, both sides of the story, but also it's kind of like it was very petty. It was a very petty situation, and I haven't brought it up. The last time it was brought up wasn't even by me, and it wasn't even right now. It was actually the end of August, and it was by somebody who also knows a person. But anyways, to answer the question, yes. Will I ever tell it? Maybe. But I just want to say that overall,
the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Okay, what did you name your first car?
Okay, so my first car didn't have a name. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
The car that I have now, freshman year, of like my first year of college, all my friends had car names, and because my car was like newer than theirs. They called it Julia. I don't really like that name. I'm not even gonna lie. Mm-hmm. So right now I just call it by the color of the car. The color is blue. But if you guys come up with a better name, hit up our social media links and I'll read it and I might pick one of your names.
I feel like because this is our first podcast, in the spirit of firsts, we should tell stories about our firsts.
That's a great idea. Okay. I think it's appropriate to talk about our first crush.
Okay, let's get into it. I still remember his name. Mm-hmm. I won't be said on here, but I do remember his name. I remember what he looks like, and I currently still know what school he's going to.
Oh wow!
It was in middle school, and it was like a slow burn. Mm-hmm. So I remember he used to like to play a lot, like joke a lot. But he was like kind of popular, not gonna lie. He was an athlete. He was kind of popular. He was cute. Like, actually was really cute. And I think it started like the second half of 6th grade when we started having classes together. Because he would always like hang around me. I don't know why. I feel like I was boring. I feel like especially in 6th grade, I had braces for the first half. And then when I got my braces taken off, like 2 weeks later, I had glasses. Like, just to give you an image of myself in middle school. So I was never really, I don't know, I feel like I wasn't lame, but I wasn't popular. I was always like in the middle. Like I could meld with anyone just because I was just kind of there.
Okay.
So he would always hang around me, joke around a lot. And I think that's why I started to get a crush on him. And then it only grew in 7th grade. I remember 7th grade. I doubt he's ever going to listen to this podcast, but if he does, he's going to know I'm talking about him. But we had different homeroom in 7th grade. So I started out in a science classroom. He started out in the English classroom. But in the hallway, he would like come up to me and like steal something of mine. Normally it was like a pencil or like a paper or whatever. Yeah. You know, cute little 7th grade stuff. And he would run back to his room, to his homeroom, and make me chase him. And like, we would like play fight, argue. And then I would get my stuff back and then go to class. But he did that like on a regular basis. Intentionally. And I was just like, I don't know, looking back on it, it's so simple. Like, why did I...
It's the little things, baby. It's the little things.
Why did I get a crush on that? This is childish. But like, yeah. And he just kept getting cute, you know? He kept being an athlete, he kept being cute. And then he moved away. Like, he moved to a different school for a period. He ended up coming back during high school. But he did move to a different school for a period. And I just remember, it was kind of sad. It was really sad. But, okay, I remember one time, funny story. So you know how there's, like, double doors? Yeah. And there's, like, the pole in between the double doors. Yes. So one time... This was in basketball season, and the boys' team sometimes would practice before us because we had to share the gym. So they would practice before us, and I didn't know he was still friends with people in the area and people on the boys' basketball team. So I was in 8th grade at the time, and the boys' practice was over, so they were walking out, and I didn't know he was there. Like, they allowed him to like stay after school and like practice and stuff like that, but he was in the area. So he turns around the corner at the same time I'm walking the other way. And I did not expect to see him. So I was talking to one of my friends, one of my teammates, and on the way to practice, you know, so whatever. And he turns the corner and I turned my corner, walking in opposite directions. And I like saw him and it was like in such like shock that I tried to hide behind like the pole in between the double doors. So you could clearly still see me. But of course. But I wasn't like shocked. So I was like, oh. And I just like slid behind the pole, even though you could still see me. And it was just like awkward. Yeah.
Did he ever turn around?
No, he just kept walking. Like he kept walking straight, and I just walked straight past him. And it was weird. I haven't spoken like a single word to him since like before he left middle school. But that was like years ago. Oh. Oof. Dang. Let's see if he has a girlfriend now. I think he does. That was the story of him. And I kind of made like, I met my best friend through him. Yeah, if she's listening to this, she's gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. She's gonna know I reference her, and she's gonna know exactly who I'm like speaking on. But yeah, that's the story of my first crush.
Wow.
So Liz, it's your turn.
Okay. My first crush?
Yes.
Oh shoot. Dang. I honestly can't remember who I had a first crush on. It was probably like middle school, I think. But like I just remember having a lot of crushes in middle school because literally, I don't know, it was like a weird time period of, you know, you guys know, change.
Of change.
Yeah. So like I felt like, yeah, I can't think of one right now. Not even lying.
Okay.
I can't remember T.
Okay.
I can remember a recent crush that I had a recent crush that I had, but the whole thing is the time span that we met is kind of short, but this person is not available. So it kind of, I don't know, I just came to the realization that it's not meant to be. So crush is kind of over, I guess. That's my most recent crush. There's a lot of tea behind it.
Tea.
But
Liquor.
Anyways, moving on. Let's talk driving experiences.
Okay. My first time driving.
Your first time driving.
I remember it. I was like, I think I was 15 or 14. I can't really remember. But it was around the age that you normally would get your permit. But it was before I got my permit. And my grandma was the one who first taught me how to drive. And they have like a Cadillac, but I forgot, like, I don't know the name of the Cadillac, but the make is Cadillac. I just don't know the model.
A small one, big?
It's like small car. And it was over the summer. And what I remember the most about the Cadillac is that it was over the summer and the Cadillac AC didn't work. So learning how to drive in that car, it was hot. But my grandma lives like in the country. She lives in the Goonies. She lives in the Cut. She lives out there. And but it was perfect for when you're learning how to drive, to learn like in the country where there's like no police and other cars. So I learned how to drive in that Cadillac, and it was just the first like thing I learned how to drive was obviously parking, like how to pull into a parking spot. Obviously the pedals, controls, whatever, driving straight, and then 3-point turn. And she taught me how to drive on like back roads, but also like it was like a gravel road, and down the road was like a cemetery. But like obviously nobody's down there other than like deceased people. So I remember doing my first 3-point turn was down that road, and then we did that like a couple times before eventually she started making me drive her like in that area. So
wow.
Yeah, it was smooth going. Learning how to parallel park was not, okay. It just wasn't, because my mom tried to teach me how to parallel park, and just learning how to drive with her in the car, it was a lot. It was a lot of pressure. She would get irritated and angry at me fast, which made me shut down. But you can't shut down when you're driving.
No, you can't.
So learning how to parallel park was rough. Let me talk about my first driver's test. I failed it. Okay? Not because I could not drive, but the DMV that I took my driver's test at, they put all like the technical stuff first. So really all the stuff that you could fail on, they put that at the beginning of the test. So you got in the car, and I don't know if your driver's test was like this, but you got in the car, and the first thing they told you how to do was like a vehicle check. So they were like, turn on your turn signals left and right, turn your headlights on and off, beep the horn, turn on the windshield wipers on and off, just to check like the vehicle. And to make sure you knew how to do all those things. And then the driver gets in the car, and you pull out from the DMV. And so I pulled out from the DMV, took a turn, down this little road and took another turn off on like a side road.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, pull off to the side of the road and park your car as if you were parking on a hill with like the curb on whatever. Mm-hmm. And so I did that. I turned the wheel, like locked left, put the car in park, did the emergency brake, turned the car off because you had to do all those things. Past that part, good, yes, great. Keep driving. And then she takes me down another side road. And on this road was where I had to do 3-point turn. Did that perfectly. And this is the part of the test that I failed. Mm-hmm. She was like, pull off to the side of the road again. So I pulled off to the side of the road on the grass. And then she was like, I'm going to explain this to you, but if you don't understand it, I can explain it again. She says, turn the wheel lock left. So you turn the wheel all the way to the left until it stops. That's what I did. And then she was like, get back on the road or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand what she meant. So I was like, okay, my wheel is turned all the way till it locked. And she wants me to get back on the road. So I did that. But I did like a U going backwards. And she was like, no, do it again. So I did it again and did the same thing. And she was like, drive back to the DMV. That's how I knew I failed. Because what she wanted me to do was turn the wheel lock left and get back on the road and drive backwards.
Oh, this way? Like in reverse?
So get off the side of the road. Turn the wheel lock left, get back on the road, but as soon as you're on the road, straighten your wheel back up and drive backwards. Oh. That's what she wanted me to do, but I didn't understand her instructions. So I failed the test the first time because of that. Oh. When I took it the next time, they gave me a different lady who was a lot nicer, a lot more like, I don't know, her presence was just easier to get along with. And I passed the test, no problem. Wow. She was like, yeah, she's a confident driver. I don't know why she failed the test the first time. I was like, well. But yeah. So Liz, tell us your first time driving or talk about your driver's test, whatever you feel like it.
Well, let me see. I'll do a little whole summary of everything. So I think I started doing behind the wheel when I was 15, and I lied to my mom and I told her that I've been practicing driving because my friend at the time was older than me, and she had an older sister too, and her older sister had they had a car available, so she would like drive around our neighborhood and start practicing. So I lied to my mom and I told her that I knew how to drive and that I was like practicing driving, and I understood it. So like I told my mom to let me get I told her to allow me to drive to the bus stop one morning. And she was kind of hesitant because also my mom didn't know how to drive until I was like 5. So she was kind of hesitant about it. But, you know, I was so excited, and I got in the front seat, and I was like, yes, I know how to drive. And, you know, we got in, and mom was like, just be careful. And my house was kind of like on an uphill. And across, like, maybe, I don't know, it was like across the street was another house, and I put the car in reverse, and I did not back up slowly, and I actually, in fact, I'm pretty sure I hit the gas, and we went into our neighbor's front yard, and I hit their dish pole. And that was my first time driving. So since then, my mom refused to teach me how to drive because it was just a bad experience. Right. My sister was traumatized. My sister wouldn't get wouldn't get in the same car as me until like I was maybe 17. So she wouldn't teach me how to drive. My dad taught me a little bit, but he also wouldn't like teach me that much because he like worked a lot. So it kind of fell on my aunt who had to teach me how to drive. And yeah, so it was the same car that I wrecked because I wrecked the car. I can literally describe the car to you guys. It was a Yukon, and it was purple. So it was like an older Yukon. It wasn't one of the newer ones, and it was like very the material of the car that was made was like very heavy. So like I dented the back doors of the car, you know, which was crazy. I mean, not much damage happened to the car other than the fact that it was like, one side was a little bit dented because, again, the year the car was made and stuff. But I learned how to drive in that car. And I also used to live in a more... I used to live in Delaware, in southern Delaware, if you guys know. That area is very, like, very cornfields.
Mm-hmm.
So I also kind of grew up, or learned to drive on back roads and stuff. So she would take me on back roads. And I didn't take my driver's test through the DMV. I actually took it through the school because it was free. And the first day of class, he gave us an exam. Also, my instructor was from England. Mm-hmm. So he drove on the opposite side of the road, which is, like, crazy. Like, it was crazy to me. But I remember him passing out a test. And I don't know if it was just luck or something, but I passed the test. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is so crazy. Like, I actually passed the test. And I was like, I technically don't have to be in class, so let me just go take the driver's test. But once again, I didn't really have that much driving experience. I probably drove like 10 or so times. And then I also remember while I was driving with him, we would do like partners. So it was me and some other kid. And one time I took a turn and I took it like that. It was supposed to be a right turn and I like went way too fast. And I remember he had to use the brake on his side. Because if not, I was going to crash.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I actually got my license the very first time. And I would say I'm an excellent driver. I have driven up and down this East Coast with flying colors. Haven't gotten...
Flying, yes.
Linda. That's so funny. Haven't gotten any tickets, knock on wood. And I'm very safe, and I think I'm very cautious, and I will get you from point A to point B, and that's all that matters. Period.
Okay. Period.
I want to own a sports car. Linda will not get in my car if it's a sports car.
I won't. Not okay. Let me explain something. Liz is a safe driver. I'll give her that. She will get you from point A to point B. Period. The time that she will get you from point A to point B is what is scary. Like, I won't say Liz is... yes, I will. Liz is a bad driver.
I'm not a bad driver. Let me defend myself.
You're not bad. Liz is a fast driver.
I'm a fast driver. I will be in and out of lanes. If you're in my way, just know that I will let you know that you're going slow because I will be up your behind.
She will.
Or I will... very furiously, very quickly go around you.
She will. And like, okay, so my car is slightly older than Liz's car. I think my car is like 4 or 5 years older than Liz's car. So I can't really push my car past 85 without like my car being like, what are you doing? So I normally don't drive that fast unless I have to like pass someone. Then I could push my car to maybe 90. But other than that, he never goes past 85. Mm-hmm. So whenever I'm in the car with you and you can push like 90 and above, I'm like, oh my God. Dang. This is what it's like to be on the edge.
On the edge.
Of life, literally.
But yeah, overall, I think that I'm going to defend myself and I think I'm an excellent driver. Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, oops, I'm kind of going too fast. But, honestly, let's talk about this for a quick second. Let me just say that if you drive slow, you are actually, like, I'm not saying go 100 over the speed limit, no. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, like, don't drive slow because slower moving vehicles actually cause more accidents. So keep at a, like, steady pace. And also, there wouldn't be that many accidents if we all would also keep at a steady pace because there wouldn't be that much traffic. The next verse we should actually talk about, which I was like, wait, let's not talk about it anymore first because it might intertwine with other stories that we're going to talk about, is our first podcast, which is what you're listening to right now.
Period.
Go
so
ahead,
I think for future episodes, we should get some stories from the listeners, no?
Yes, I agree.
So yeah, I think the listeners should definitely send us in stories. and we'll read through them, and we'll pick the best stories that fit, like, the next theme. So if your story isn't told immediately, that's not to say it won't be told later on.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like other stories are good topics for conversation, you know?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to send us stories, you can DM us on Instagram or on Twitter. On Instagram, it's LiLi's Hotline, LILIS Hotline. On Twitter, it's Hotline LiLi, Hotline and then LILI. Or you can email us your stories at lilishotline@gmail.com, and we'll go through them and select the ones that we want to say in the podcast. And we'll email you to let you know that we've chosen your story, and just listen out for it, you know? And we'll try to keep everything anonymous.
Yeah.
So
if you don't want the name said, let us know. If you want the name said because you're just that savage, let us know.
Always on for, you know, tea. So
Liquor. Period. Well, guys, I guess this is us signing off. Thank you for listening to our first podcast.
And bye.